Assalomu alaykum. Sizlar bilan Qo'qon universiteti matbuot kotibi Otabek Mamajonov. Kechki dasturimizga amerikalik professorni taklif etganmiz. Assalomu alaykum.
Va alaykum assalom.
Professor, welcome to Uzbekistan Qo'qon University.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Professor, could you please introduce yourself to our viewers, please?
Sure, I'd love to. So I'm Professor Christopher Corton. I grew up in the US and then transitioned or studied in the UK, and I've been living in Europe for a number of years as as a university professor.
Okay, thank you. Nice to see you here. And before we start our interview, we have a small gift for you.
Oh.
All right. Professor, this is called doppe. This is our traditional and national wear, like hat. And this is a gift for you.
Thank you.
From me.
I will, I'll try it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God, it's really good. It's perfect, perfect. Then we will start our interview. Can you tell us about your academic and professional background, please?
Sure. So I started studying music initially, and then I eventually started studying history, and I did my higher degrees in England in history. But when you live abroad, anywhere in the world, English becomes very important. So I was also called on to teach a lot of English courses.
Professor, is it your first visit to Uzbekistan?
It's my first, but not my last. I have to tell you, I've been running an Instagram channel for the last 5 years, and some of the most ardent or faithful followers of mine have been from Uzbekistan. Wow. So I've been thinking about coming to your country for many years, and I regret that it only happened now.
How was your first impression?
Well, I have to tell you, this is culturally very different, but very beautiful. I'll tell you the strongest impression I've had.
Oh.
The strongest impression I've had is how kind people are to each other. I don't think I've ever seen a group of people, society, get along with strangers, one another, as well as I have. I've been to different government offices to get different forms of ID, and people are very civil, they're kind, they're respectful. I've never seen that in such great numbers, and it's a tribute to your faith, to your upbringing, and to your country.
Yeah. It means you didn't experience the culture shock.
I was shocked, very shocked, but positively shocked.
Positively shocked.
Yeah, and the food, I have to say the food, you know, it's a very heavy meat diet. It's very carnivorous in this sense, but I absolutely loved it. This kazan kebab is one of my favorite meals, but I love the food here, very tasty, but very full.
How do you say bon appetit in
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit. Professor, yoqimli ishtaha.
Rahmat.
Our next topic is teaching and education system. What subjects will you be teaching to master students?
So at Qo'qon University, they've asked me to teach 2 courses. One is lingual pragmatics, and this is for the master's level. And the second one is also for the master's. It's professional and academic uses of English. And both of these I find pretty exciting.
So I see you have taught at lots of countries. So how do you compare education system in Uzbekistan with other countries?
Well, I've only been here a week, so I don't know a lot about it, but I've had a chance, of course, to visit a few universities, and I've spent a week and a half here in Qo'qon very profitably. And what I see is very talented and very young staff. So if there's something that struck me, it's the youth and the energy of this university, and perhaps Uzbekistan in general. So there's a lot of energy, and I think this is a great condition for quick growth.
What are some strengths and areas for improvement in the Uzbek teaching system, especially in linguistics?
Well, let me start with the strengths. The strengths that I've noticed in the classroom are that people are very eager to participate, very eager to improve, and very talented. I think as we develop as Uzbekistan develops in sort of the international sphere, and I know they have a big push for the digital, sort of in the digital space, there's a 2030 goal. So as they sort of elevate their status, they'll have more, people collectively will have more opportunities to speak English. And so you'll see, I think, a rise in the level of English proficiency that maybe right now is in the beginning stages of that.
Thank you. The next topic is linguistics and society. The question is, how does the linguistics influence our daily lives?
Well, it can influence it in a number of ways because there's a lot of cultural context involved. And so you can say the same sentence, I'm sorry, for example, at a funeral, at a job offer. If someone's offering you a job, you can say, I'm sorry. So the context in which we communicate our phrases, our sentences, can have are critical to the meaning that we actually use. So linguistics is important to understand these differences and to communicate effectively.
Okay, thank you. Interesting answer. Next question is, what do you think about the role of artificial intelligence in linguistics and language learning?
Well, I think it's going to change this field dramatically in terms of translations, even simultaneous translations, to a certain extent teaching, and obviously how we teach, but you know, the methods or forms by which students are going to learn is going to be very different. So I think what we need to do is sort of understand these changes and try to position ourselves collectively as a faculty to be in the best position to take advantage of these changes.
Okay. Professor, I'm really curious, what languages do you speak and which one is your favorite?
Well, I speak English as a mother tongue and all the rest very imperfectly. So a handful of languages, and Italian is probably my favorite language to speak, although German is also quite nice to speak. So it's a tie between German and Italian.
Okay, wow. Next question is, if you could learn any language instantly, which one it would be and why?
Well, given the fact that I'm in Kokand, and given the fact that a lot of people are speaking Uzbek to me in the city, I would love to be able to speak Uzbek right now. And if when I come back, I will know more Uzbek than I did on this trip.
Okay, impressive. Right now, we will be talking about advice and future outlook. What advice would you give to students who want to specialize in linguistics?
My advice would be to get your head around or understand very clearly the role AI is playing in the field. If people don't understand that and don't adapt to these situations, it could be a pretty difficult career. So I think they have to be very understanding of how the field is changing so quickly.
Okay. What are your academic expectations from students at our university?
Well, I'm teaching with the aim that they will have an impact internationally. Now, obviously not everyone's going to leave Uzbekistan, and nor am I encouraging them to leave. But my aim as a teacher is to sort of give a global perspective and, you know, teach with the view that they can compete globally in the global marketplace. And so that's how I position the students.
Thank you for your answer. Finally, do you have any wishes or messages for the students and staff of Kokand University?
Yes, I do. I have spent the last 10 days here or so and have had an absolute delight. It's been such a pleasure. I've been embraced warmly by the staff, the faculty, the students. And my wish is that that we all meet again very soon. But the second wish is that they grow and prosper in the ways that I know they will grow and prosper. And with the hard work that everyone collectively is putting in, I think these dreams will be achieved.
Professor, thank you very much for your cooperation.
Thank you.
We'll be Glad to see you again here.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you very much. Hurmatli kuzatuvchilar, bizni kuzatishda davom eting. E'tiboringiz uchun rahmat.